This is the Spiritual Tea Report with your host, Hathor Sakma L. And today we are going over Nick and Olandria, real love or fake. And I know people call them Nicolandria. It's very cute. I am doing this because my daughter, she loves Love Island. She was really into season 6 more than season 7, but Nick and Olandria is very much a fan favorite, and these two are at the top of her list, as I have been researching that many other people love these two together. But there's been a lot of reports that some people find that it may be fake. And there was a guy that was actually on there, Ace, who was on a podcast and was actually speaking on their relationship and trying to say that I guess it was fake because of some stuff that happened. I don't know if they're almost like compared them to season 6, what happened with the interracial relationship. I forget their names. Sorry, I don't watch Love Island, so forgive me. You know what I'm talking about, where he was basically faking it for, I guess, to be a brand with her because they were very much a fan favorite of season 6. And it seems like all these people after the show, they kind of become friends and they get these brand deals and everything goes on for them. So people are thinking, is this a repeat between Nick and Olandria? Is it real love or is it fake? So we're going to get into this. And then it was crazy because, let me backtrack. Little Yachty was saying that he felt like this was fake and he was chiming in. So you have even celebrities who are watching Love Island and chiming in about how they feel about these relationships. So I'm going to go into love and compatibility. If you don't know what I do love and compatibility readings. And my daughter really wanted me to do this one on Nicolandria. So I'm going to get into these two and give my spiritual insight about them. So let's get into this. Olandria was born May 29th, 1998. She's a Gemini and she's 27 years old. Nicholas Nick is born March 20th, 2001, and he's 24 years old, and he's a Pisces. I do see an age difference, but not too much of an age difference between the two. But this is one thing that I've noticed about Love Island is that I don't recommend is that they get a lot of people that haven't embarked on their Saturn's return, and then they have people who are dead in or starting their Saturn's return. The reason why I mentioned Saturn's return is because usually in your Saturn's return, you're in review. It's almost like you're going to the threshold of adulthood. And it's usually a time between 27 all the way to age 30 that you should not be really dating like that or taking love seriously. Um, and Olandria is right on the beginning of the brink of Saturn's return. Most relationships go really into the negative and go bad when you're in your Saturn's return. And I don't, most of my clients, I don't recommend them to jump into a relationship or stay in a relationship because they'll usually really take that person through the ringer as they're going through their Saturn's return. I always tell people wait until to look forward to marriage and a stable relationship. Do it after 30. And I always tell my clients, have fun in your 20s. Yes, they're having fun, but I really think that if they really want relationships to last and to see it go into marriage, if that's the thing about Love Island, that they want to see a relationship success, they should have them come in at age 30, 31. And I don't know, people like to see young people, but a lot of times that's the discord that they're not looking at astrologically, which is spiritually. They're not looking at that these people are that are on their Saturn's return, that father energy of Saturn comes in and really disrupts your 20s and makes you look back at everything and what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? So I could see that being a vice against them. I know you're like, she's already starting, but I have to put that in there with all these relationships. I don't know if I'm going to get on to Ace and Charlie and all the other people. I'm going to try to, but we're focusing on Nick and Olandria and the age difference, and even the where Olandria is in her Saturn's return. He has 3 more years before he even goes into this. Then I also was looking at the Gemini and Pisces. This is like 4 people in a relationship. So Gemini is the twins, and then Pisces are the 2 fish. So we got a lot of flip flop going on. That's a little bit of a red flag for me. This is a playful relationship. Geminis and Pisces usually have a good time. They play around. This is fun. Air and water like to have a good time, and I do see that. And we're going to get into the numerology of the two, but astrologically, if we're looking at the sun signs, I know there's much more to that when you look at natal charts. But as far as just looking at their two sun signs, this is a playful, fun, social type of relationship. So Alandria's birthday and the numbers that I do in soul contracts, I do not do life path. I do my own type of reading, the numerology, and through a soul contract numbers, Olandria is 5119 and Nick is 323. We're going to go into this of how they nurture and love each other, how they think together, and how they naturally are. That deals with the moon, sun, and earth. So we're dealing with the moon energy, which is feminine, of how they love each other, how they are in their personal space, when they come around each other, how they would be if they live together, and just, the emotions between the two. Then I'm going to look at the sun part, where is how they come together and how they think together. Then the earth is just naturally how they are. That's dealing with the year. The year is always changing. So we're going to look at 2025 and how they naturally are together upon earth. And then we're going to look at 2026 and what it means for what's going to happen between some predictions of Nick and Olandria. Is it lasting? What could possibly happen between the two? So Olandria deals with the energy of 5. So she's a very creative person. She is a person that nurtures herself and her emotions. That moon energy is dealing with 5. So she's creative. She's a talker. Um, she needs to be in elements where she can express herself. Nick is with his moon energy. He's very energetic. He's dealing with the March Madness. Also, people in the month of December deal with 3. So this is a person who deals off the energy of people. So with him and how he loves, he has to feel it. He likes to give it out. He has to be in those places. Pisces usually jump to energy that feels good. If their family isn't feeling right, they'll go around their friends or their girlfriend or whatever. They have to feel that good energy around them. And like I said, Olandria has that 5 energy, where it's speak from the heart, creativity, a lot of communication needs to happen. And the higher energy, they're dealing with 8. So in that 8 energy, they have shared resources. So if they were together, they would know how to share information. They would know how to share money. And that's why they're probably trying to say that, oh, this is a fake relationship, because they would make a good brand together. They would make a good money making energy. So this would be a relationship that has to be organized for Alandria. She likes that, hey, if we're going to share this information, we're going to share these resources. It needs to be in some type of structure. It needs to be planned out. And that's just how she is. You can even look at both of their eyes. I read faces. We're going to get into a little bit of that, but just looking at their faces, they're people who are very much seeing ahead of time, needing that structure. They like to plan out things. So that could almost come off as fake with them, but it's actually a natural energy with them. And in this relationship, while Olandria is more of the planner, Nick is the one who's going to learn from all of this. He is the younger person in the relationship, so he's willing to take a back seat and learn from Olandria, but also give his own input and teach her some things. Now that's good. That's good when you have a working like relationship. You have a relationship that you can build upon and you can make money together. That's how they love with each other, is they share these type of resources. But in the negative energy or the lower energy of this relationship, looking at the numbers, is this two. So two can be that in this partnership it could be dualistic because they come from two different worlds. Obviously, we can see that with our eyes, is that they come from these two different worlds, where Nick is a person who's going to have to try to make sure that he's understood and he's heard. When this duality comes, he's letting Nick would know, let Olandria know that, hey, this is who I am, this is how I do things. And that could be perceived sometimes as a little bit of a conflict, because Olandria gets into her emotions and she gets very energetic with that energy. So there could be some discourse between them, of them becoming coming from these two different worlds. That's why, in the positive, they need to understand and have a game plan when they come into the relationship of nurturing each other. There has to be structure to this relationship in order for it to work. Else they'll end up bumping heads and coming at each other, and there could be some indifferences where Nick may not feel like he is being seen in his individuality, and then Olandria kind of gets up there in her energy and may be upset about it.